Your 4 to 5 on this Tuesday. I'm Sydney Moore, joined alongside Eric Chilton and Hunter Funk.
Hello.
Well, we want to start with a serious tone. We all know Halloween is 1 week from today.
Yeah, and of course, trick-or-treaters will be out having a great time, but sometimes not paying attention to anything but that candy.
Yeah, and that's why this mom's story you're about to hear will have you better prepared for next Tuesday night. One mother whose daughter was hit and killed by a car on Halloween night last year is urging drivers to pay attention.
I've had some rough days, rougher than the majority of this year.
Aaliyah Thornhill was 14, full of life.
It's like glamorous face.
Had a love for dancing, acting, singing.
Costume number 2.
And as her mother says, a personality that would bring people joy every single day.
I'm not done with my stuff.
What was Aaliyah's favorite holiday?
Aaliyah was in such high spirits that day, like she was running around.
It soon became her mother, Ayanna Suttle's worst moment.
This is a nightmare. It's still a nightmare. You know, I'm doing my best to move forward in this new reality, but you know, it's a nightmare.
According to investigators, Aaliyah and a friend were out trick-or-treating on Haw River Road in Oak Ridge when they were hit from behind by an SUV. Aaliyah died at the hospital. Troopers say there were no charges for the driver because the girls were in the roadway at that time. Greensboro police say now is the time to be more attentive and get things to make sure your kids stand out.
Make sure that kids, parents, if you're walking, wear any kind of reflective lights or vest or carry a flashlight. Glow stick around the neck is very simple. And if you're walking somewhere where there is no sidewalk, this is also very important. Make sure that you walk as far over to the left or out of the lane that you can.
It's advice that Suttle urges parents to listen to, not just for her, but other families who've lost their kids on Halloween.
I don't want any parent to ever feel this, you know, like I see, you know, Instagram, like my daughter, I can't experience homecoming, you know, like so many things, you know, and just think of us when you're out there driving.
Because Halloween falls on a Tuesday, police advise everyone to keep their eyes out for more people all weekend long and through Tuesday. Suttles hopes her message stops the same situation from ever happening.
And Aaliyah Thornhill's death came 3 years after 11-year-old Noah Chambers was killed on the same road. Noah died after being hit at a church trunk or treat event on November 1st in 2019. The Highway Patrol says the driver who hit Noah was not speeding or impaired and no charges were filed. Since the two deadly crashes in Oak Ridge, signs have been put up along Haw River Road with hopes of making the road safer. The Oak Ridge Town Council also approved adding a digital speed radar on the road.
The spooky holiday filled with frights and candy can actually be dangerous. According to the Winston-Salem Police Department, twice as many kids are killed while walking on Halloween than any other day of the year. Ahead of the holiday, police department tips are some of them you just heard. They say parents and trick-or-treaters should wear reflective tape or carry flashlights so drivers can see you. Pay attention to your surroundings when walking from location to location. Use sidewalks and no texting and driving.
Few things are scarier than the consequences of driving while impaired. The State Highway Patrol just launched its Booze It or Lose It campaign. From now through Halloween, you can expect to see more troopers on the highways and checkpoints in an effort to keep impaired drivers off the road. The patrol is urging people to use designated drivers, ride-sharing services on public transportation as safe alternatives.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A Winston-Salem mother is recovering after police say someone shot her twice outside her home while a baby was inside. Police say it happened just before midnight last night on East Drive. They say the woman went outside to check on her car after hearing the alarm. When she got outside, that's when police say multiple people shot at her and her home and then drove off. The woman was taken to the hospital with gunshot wounds to the arm and the leg, but her injuries are considered non-life-threatening. The baby inside the home and another man inside were not injured.
North Carolina Senate lawmakers passed a bill that would dramatically overhaul congressional voting maps in North Carolina. The proposal splits Guilford County into 3 districts. If approved, Greensboro would have the same representative as people in Watauga County on the Tennessee state line. Now, the proposal would also make it harder for Democratic Representative Kathy Manning to win re-election. Republicans say the maps follow all guidelines and legal boundaries, but Democrats have called the proposals illegal gerrymandering.
Alamance Burlington Schools is requesting over $9 million from the county. The district says is to replenish their Pay-Go account, which generally covers project upgrades and repairs. Before the school year, the district had to dip into the account to cover the recent mold remediation efforts. ABSS wants $3.3 million restored to the account and an extra $5.7 million to cover the remaining mold remediation invoices. We'll let you know when county commissioners make a decision.
Governor Cooper says he is directing just over $1 million in federal funding to expand school breakfast programs. The funds will provide grants to school districts to change the way traditional free and reduced breakfast is served. The state is partnering with several organizations, including the Carolina Hunger Initiative, also known as CHI. A representative tells us they want to provide breakfast outside of the cafeteria and instead have it in the classroom or grab and go style.
Make it part of the school day and try and reduce barriers like stigma and timing and placement that still might be present even if the meals are free for students.
All districts throughout the state can apply for the grant. CHI says they are prioritizing, districts who already have federal funding and expect the application to open November 1st.
An amazing story out of Guilford County schools. A Guilford County elementary school student reached an incredible milestone. The young boy is now in remission. The district says Miles goes to Jesse Wharton Elementary and has battled leukemia for more than 3 years. His classmates and teachers lined the halls of the school to host a celebration just for him. At the end of the line, Miles cut the ribbon, marking the end of his journey.
Yeah, such a touching story. Obviously, no one wants to hear the word cancer, let alone, a kindergartner, but it was so beautiful to see all of those students lined up against the wall there to wish him the best on this next journey and milestone he has ahead of him.
It's like the ringing of the bell, right? When he got to cut his little ribbon. First of all, I can't imagine, childhood cancer is a horrible thing, but that age, that kindergarten age, like 5 years old, just adorable. So good for him.
It is good for him. I'm thankful for our healthcare right now because that's an incredible story, and also just that support. I mean, going through the ringer through that whole entire process, just to have all your classmates say, "Okay, we're okay. We got this together."
Sometimes kids handle it better than adults.
Really,
too,
though.
Because they always think of the positive.
And hopefully, with these moments and pictures, he'll be able to cherish this moment as he grows older. We wish him all the best here at News 2. Eric, let's take a look at that forecast.
We can do that. I know his parents are thankful as well. Let's talk about that outlook and current temperatures. Man, is it comfortable right now? And actually, right where we should be. We're seeing temperatures in the low 70s for the most part. 71 in Burlington and Greensboro, 72, Winston-Salem. Mount Airy, you have 69 degrees there, and low 70s, 72, 73-ish as we head into Reedsville and Walnut Cove. Tonight, dropping down to 42, another chilly morning, another start to your morning. Had to get out early and start the car for the kids to get things warmed up a bit. 75, though, tomorrow. This is the beginning of that warming trend that we've been talking about. Boy, do we have picture perfect Lexington Chamber of Commerce approved weather going all the way through your weekend. This barbecue festival forecast is absolutely perfect. We're fairly clear right now. You look across the area, go out to a wider shot. We've got a ways to go before any of that rain way back to the west has a shot at getting to us. And as we watch that move on to the east, we're kind of in the warm sector. You see the high pressure off the coast, but also the cold front approaching. That keeps a southerly flow to our winds. What does that do? That warms us up and gives us this for our 7-day forecast. No arguments with this one, folks. 75 tomorrow. We're talking sunny to partly cloudy skies every day through your weekend. 77 Thursday, 79 on Friday. We're in the low 80s for the barbecue festival. Yeah, that's shorts and t-shirt weather there, folks. 82 and 81 for Saturday and Sunday. Monday, we see a front start to approach, but it's only a 20% chance of a shower, and we'll cool down to 67 for Halloween.
Speaking of the Lexington Barbecue Festival, it's just 4 days away. Thousands of people from across the country will flock to Uptown Lexington to enjoy food and fun.
More than 250 vendors are expected to take part in the event. The Barbecue Center is one restaurant that's been part of the festival since the very beginning. Owner Cecil Conrad says his father was one of the original organizers.
39 years ago, we came together in town, decided we'd like to honor one of our favorite things about Lexington, and it was the barbecue. And my dad jumped right in and really excited to be a part of it. And 7 other restaurants went with us. And from that point on, we've just taken the barbecue festival to globally, actually.
All right, well, there are several families who have close ties to the Lexington Barbecue Festival. The 3 other restaurants participating this year are Stamey's, Speedy's, and Smoky Joe's. We also caught up with the Lexington Chief of Police. He talked about safety leading up to and during the festival.
It starts with remembering where you park. If you can, and lock your doors in your car. I suggest possibly taking a picture of a nearby street sign. And generally, just have a good time, but be aware of your surroundings. Work with us. It takes all of us to keep us a safe event. If you see something that concerns you, obviously you can call 911 or see one of our many officers we'll have out on the streets.
Well, there is so much to do in Lexington, so we've created a guide just for you with everything you want to know about it. Just text BBQ to 336-379-5775 and we'll be sure to send you a link. We'll be back.
Well, I think it's time for some Halloween trivia.
Is it?
We're all going to learn together.
I'm
Oh,
excited.
They didn't put, I thought they were going to put our
The
faces up there.
faces, that's
Yes.
what I was looking for. Maybe next time.
Hold on,
Sorry.
I got it. Ready?
Actually glad. I know that's what they do. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Okay, so we're going to talk about some trivia. We're all doing this together, so no competition here. So play along at home. Did you know that the mask that Michael Myers wore in all the Halloween episodes, the first movie had a really low budget? So the question is, do you know what that mask was? It's actually, you do? You know this one?
Yes,
What
I think
was
it was Captain Kirk.
Yes,
Kirk,
it was
yeah.
William
would've
Shatner
never
who was
guessed
Captain
that.
Kirk. I know,
Yeah.
that's a weird trivia question. So they had such a low budget, they bought it for $2 at a thrift shop. And
$2?
And sprayed it white. So there's
Yeah.
the mask. It's actually
I remember this. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So funny that it's William Shatner. Anyway, here's some stats for you. There are 35 million pounds of candy corn made every year. That is 9 billion
Wow, 9 billion.
pieces. Yes, if you add it
That's a
all
lot.
up. Americans spend about $2.6 billion each year on Halloween. That doesn't surprise me because it's so expensive. You know,
Yeah.
costumes really run a lot of
makes
money
sense.
there.
Candy corn is my least favorite
so
Halloween candy.
If
Can we
you
talk about it?
overeat it-
Because it is just, I hate to say it.
And do you?
If you overeat it, I'm done. But I do love it.
I love
just
it
can't
too.
overeat it.
Okay, I like M&M's. It's my favorite Halloween candy.
Guess what?
That counts, right?
Candy corn.
I was like,
Candy corn originally had another name, which made sense to me after I heard it because of what it looks like. You ever thought about what it looks like? Like,
yeah, it's like, well, I always would put it on my tooth.
No, me too.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like seeds to me.
Okay, that
sort
makes
of.
sense.
So it was originally called chicken feed. That was the name of it. I know, isn't that crazy?
That makes a lot of sense, though.
That is funny.
Ridiculous. All right, so we have some more for you. So trick-or-treating, actually, now there are several stories I found online about this. This one said that it started in medieval times when people would go door to door doing something called souling, S-O-U-L, souling. They would offer prayers to people's loved ones that had passed on in exchange for food.
So that was the door-to-door
That's the-
aspect
yep.
of it? Okay.
Like
But it was
Reverse
food,
DoorDash.
not candy. Right, the first DoorDash.
Give me your food.
The
thank
first
you.
DoorDash.
And you pay in prayers, yes. What famous magician died on Halloween? Now,
It's it's
You got it.
gosh, Houdini.
That's it.
Houdini.
Harry Houdini.
I
Sydney,
couldn't get
you're
his
all
name
over it
right.
today.
Well, I kind of like spooky stuff, so I like scary movies. And
I
stuff.
think he was born. Was he born and he died? What? There's something about.
It was something about it,
Was
but
it Haley's Comet? I think that's what it was.
I don't remember that part of it. I just know it's him.
He did die on Halloween. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so this shocked me. The most commercially successful horror movie of all time, which in my opinion would mean money, I guess.
Okay.
Because
The
I'm
Exorcist?
thinking like The Exorcist.
Yeah, The Exorcist. right?
It?
Halloween.
I don't know.
What'd you say?
It could be that.
It's it.
It's
It
it.
is
I got
it.
one right?
Yes. And that shocked me. a
That's
little bit.
interesting, but I do remember when that movie came out. It got a lot of attention. I think just with
Wicked.
the clown aspect of him being
Yeah.
being in the sewer. But the guy who played him, what's his name? Really good actor.
So there was an original
Gosh, he's a
one a
good
long
actor.
time ago, and that was Tim Curry. But
Thi-
I don't know
this
who played it.
guy
now.
recently, but
new
even
one.
just also when I watch movies that I enjoy, I also like when they interview the cast members,
Yes.
and he has such a very mellow tone about him,
Really?
would make him perfect for this character. It's just I have to look it up during
It's
the
a
break.
wicked-looking character.
Is it the newest one that got the most?
Yeah,
It's
Okay.
the,
okay.
the first
first
of the
one.
newest ones.
Okay, the first
'cause
of the newest ones.
There's
Yeah.
two, right?
There's
Yeah, I
two.
think so.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's like,
So
I know.
scary.
It was good.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll have your forecast coming up next. Great forecast. Man, is it nice when you only see a couple of days in a 7-day with a 20% chance of rain. That includes Halloween, by the way. It's so funny. We get really warm for the weekend, then Halloween is Tuesday, and our temperatures go back. And to me, this kind of makes it feel like Halloween, right? We go back to the 60s for highs by Tuesday of next week. So let's start with tonight, mainly clear and cool with that low of 42. That'll be your morning temperature. So dress the little ones appropriately. They'll need the coat. And then not by the end of the day, though. Mostly sunny and warmer. 75 degrees for your Wednesday. We're all clear across the area. In fact, you go out to a bigger picture, you have to go back really toward the middle of the country, Dallas and that area, up towards St. Louis. That is a frontal boundary that eventually will get here, but we've got a big blocking ridge of high pressure that holds it back. Now, as long as we're on the left side of that high, winds clockwise around a high pressure, that'll bring our winds out of the south. And it's kind of a consistent warming trend that we see over the next several days, next 3 or 4 days, to be honest, as we go mid 70s, upper 70s. And believe it or not, think about this, late October with highs at 82 degrees. That's more akin to what we would see in early summer, isn't it? Yeah, so here's what the 7-day looks like, and we'll see that warming trend. Pretty clear right here. Sunny to partly cloudy all the way through Sunday. That starts tomorrow as well. 75 tomorrow, 77 Thursday, Friday 79, 82 and 81 for your weekend. Barbecue festival, perfect weather, all sun. And then cooling down a little bit and clearing out. Partly cloudy, 20% chance of a shower. 67 for Halloween.
Well, Halloween may be a little difficult for parents with Halloween happening on a Tuesday, so we wanted to know if you would be changing things up. Will you be trick-or-treating early over the weekend, or will you keep the tradition going to door on Halloween night? I posted this question on my Facebook, and we'll take a look at the responses later this week.
Well, the next time you are in Virginia, you may want to take a drive through Fluvanna County. While it's about 3 hours from the Triad, one man's Halloween display is worth the drive. Brenna Kefner shows us how he's carrying out an annual tradition and, of course, raising money for great causes.
Jeff Spinello has been lighting up Lewis Court for almost 20 years, and it takes a lot of time, effort, and attention to detail to make it look this good.
But I have to admit, when I spend a month setting this up and then I stand across the street when it's done, I look at this and can't believe I created that.
Since its start, Spinello has added lots of features, such as a 9-foot-long fence to expand his creation. And there are some spooky parts, like seeing the famous scary movie characters, but there's also some singing pumpkins.
And then we've got the 12-foot skeleton, and there's a spot to take pictures right in front of him. He's huge. I'm not even as tall as his leg.
Spinello is happy to create long-lasting memories for families while raising money for 2 great causes.
So we started tying it in with local charities, where all the money goes to the charity. So we've got the SPCA, Caring for Creatures, and then Lake Monticello Rescue, which I'm a member of.
And he loves to see his neighbors and strangers interacting with each other while enjoying all of his hard work.
And there's so many things in this front yard and up the driveway to come see. You really have to get out of the car and walk around and experience it.
And that thing taking its head off was scaring me to death. All right, I asked you on Facebook, how old do you think is too old to trick or treat? Interesting answers here. Robert Hammond said, according to the reactions I got last year, 47 is too old. That's his age. Duncan and Terry Bryan said, if they're shaving, then they're a little old, but we still give them candy here. Mickey says, our grandson did it last year. He was 13. He's 14 now, and he says he's definitely not doing trick-or-treating, so she would say 13. Angela says, as long as they are having fun, participating, and have a costume on no age limit. Candace says 13. By the way, 13 was the overall winning answer. Yeah, most people said 13 or 14 is when you're getting too old to do it.
Right,
I did not realize that there was people setting ages on this thing.
Because when you think of Halloween and trick-or-treating, you think of like, little kids and stuff, but with adults, it may be like an event or a party or something. Like you still dress up for those too.
One of them I didn't put on here, but it was funny. I can't remember their name, but they said, look, if you're a grown-up and you're not even making an effort for a costume and you show up with a pillowcase, you're not getting candy. Because some of them just bring a pillowcase. Like,
they wouldn't like me then. I don't really make much of an effort to dress up for Halloween sometimes.
You just show up.
Like, what are you?
I just show
a news anchor.
I'm a news anchor, yes.
I did go as a weatherman to a party one year, and I duct taped a big piece of cardboard with a map of the United States and highs and lows on it.
Good.
And I wore a suit.
You should do a big green screen and attach that to the back of you.
So funny. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are we doing a mic check? Why can't I hear it?
Like a masquerade.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can hear you, but can you hear me? Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How's it sound? I'm moving. Check, 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 check.
Hi there, welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric, Sydney, and Hunter with you today on a Tuesday. Once we get past Monday, I always feel like I'm in good shape.
And we're steps closer to Friday.
We are. We'll talk about the forecast in a minute.
All right. Well, we begin with an update on the war going on in the Middle East. Israel says it has launched 400 airstrikes on Hamas targets in Gaza over the past day. The UN is warning of catastrophic conditions for Palestinian civilians.
This as families of more than 200 hostages wait and hope Hamas will release their loved ones.
As Israel ramps up airstrikes, casualties in Gaza are rising, and the struggle to move aid into the Hamas-controlled territory is growing.
We're running out of stocks of water, food, medicines.
Terror has gripped the region since Hamas's October 7th attacks on Israeli civilians.
We do not know, from my mom's story, what happened to my dad. We do know that he was injured.
The faces of the missing are plastered on this wall near Israel's military and defense headquarters, a reminder of what's at stake.
Where's the outrage? Where is the revulsion?
Saturday, at an impassioned UN Security Council meeting, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken called for universal condemnation of Hamas's terrorism and the immediate release of hostages.
I implore every member here, use your voice, use your influence, use your leverage to secure their unconditional and immediate release.
The mental toll of the war is almost inescapable, even as Israelis here in Tel Aviv try to find a moment's peace.
It's okay.
We heard bombs in the distance as we spoke with Daniel Amagol, who came to the beach to clear his head. Daniel Vask and his family left their home in southern Israel to get farther away from Gaza.
The kids are going through a difficult time.
He says Hamas should know Israelis won't back down from a fight.
After the Holocaust, we built this country. So imagine what we will do after what happened.
Israel has vowed to destroy the terror group in a looming ground invasion.
The U.S. Secretary of State says the U.S. is working with Egypt, Israel, and the United Nations on a sustainable aid channel to the people in Gaza.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. 3 weeks after voting to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House, Republicans are once again trying to find a Speaker nominee capable of winning enough support within their own party. Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer emerged as the GOP nominee for Speaker of the House after 5 rounds of balloting narrowed it down from 7 candidates. This is the 3rd time Republicans have gone through this process. Neither Majority Leader Steve Scalise nor Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan were able to unite all of the GOP support needed to win.
Former President Donald Trump is back in a New York courtroom this afternoon for his civil fraud trial. His former attorney, Michael Cohen, testified as a key witness in the case, which could upend the former president's real estate empire and wealthy image. Cohen has said it will be his first time seeing Trump in 5 years. Trump is expected to testify later in the trial. In Trump's Georgia election interference case, another one of his lawyers pleaded guilty today. Jenna Ellis entered her plea in court this morning. Ellis was sentenced to 5 years of probation. Ellis will also have to testify in any trials related to the case. The new guilty plea comes just days after 2 other attorneys working for Trump also entered guilty pleas.
An off-duty pilot is charged with 83 counts of attempted murder and reckless endangerment. Authorities say Joseph Emerson tried to shut down the engines during a flight from Washington to San Francisco. Authorities say he was riding in the cockpit jump seat at the time of the incident. The plane was diverted to Oregon, where Emerson was taken into custody.
A warning for shoppers who plan to swipe for the holiday purchases this year. A new survey from Bankrate found that retail credit card annual percentage rates, or APRs, have hit a record high of 28.93% on average this year. It comes as the cost of borrowing has increased for consumers after multiple interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve.
Very comfortable out there today. Some of our temperatures mostly in the low 70s, not far off the mark from where we should be. A little warm in some areas. High Point shows 74, Burlington 71, Greensboro 71. We're going to be warmer than this tomorrow, even warmer the next day, and even warmer in the weekend. There's a possibility that the Lexington Barbecue Festival could see highs in the low 80s. Very unusual for this time of the year. 42 will be that low tonight, so still a cool start to your day tomorrow, but we'll warm up more than 30 degrees, so it's fairly dry, lots of sunshine tomorrow, and drier air heats and cools quicker than a more humid air, so we're shooting right up there. 75 for your high on Wednesday with mostly sunny skies. Not seeing much in the way of rain here. We do have that approaching front. Taking a while to get here, though. Even the rain chances at the end of our 7-day, which, by the way, the only 2 days that we see a rain chance is toward the end, and they're only a 20%. So we're not seeing much in the way of rain. High pressure will take control of our forecast and keep us nice and warm. That warming trend will continue until that cold front gets here, ironically, just in time for Halloween. So we think by the time we get to your weekend, we're looking at some of the warmest weather we've seen in a while, and then we jump right back down to the 60s for Halloween. 75 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies, partly cloudy for Thursday and Friday, and we warm up to 77 and 79. Your weekend, hard to believe, Lexington Barbecue Festival, 82. Shorts and a t-shirt there for that one. Mostly sunny through your weekend, and then the front starts to move by Monday at 78. We drop to 67 for Halloween with only a 20% chance of a stray shower.
Eric, thank you. A popular streaming service is raising its prices once again. Netflix's ad-free basic plan now costs $11.99 a month, a $2 increase, and the premium plan is getting bumped up $3 a month to $22.99. Netflix says it's gained nearly 9 million subscribers this summer after it's cracked down on password sharing. So, you know, very interesting. We all have Netflix. I mean, obviously, when I first started hearing about the password sharing, I mean, you can't even count on your hands how many people are doing, you know, the password sharing and things of that nature. Telling on yourself without telling on yourself, huh?
I have
no idea. But those prices definitely have increased since then.
I mean, I don't know if you're talking $23 a month. I don't know. I mean, but I love Netflix.
I love Netflix too.
My mom was gonna get rid. Here we go. My mom was gonna get rid of it, but all of us kids have been using her account, and so she's added us too. But again, that's like an extension to the cost because you keep adding new accounts. So I don't know. I hope she doesn't get rid of it because she's my saving grace.
All I've got, Mom.
I know. I can afford it. I love my mom.
But I have a lot of. How many streaming services do you have? I have a lot.
I actually don't have a lot.
Really?
Netflix would probably be number one, but probably two.
Yeah.
Really, is all I have.
Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu.
Yeah.
I have Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime, Netflix.
See, and my mom does, and I won't tell you what I've got on my
I have whatever my mom has. Is what basically
whatever
is what you're saying.
that's what you're saying?
I no comment.
Don't let Netflix hear you too.
All right, well, here's a reason you may want to keep Netflix. The streaming platform is giving us a sneak peek of its new reality show, Squid Game: The Challenge. Now, the series is based on the first season of the blockbuster Korean drama Squid Game. The show will host 456 players from around the world to play games inspired by the original show for a $4.56 million prize. That is unreal. That's better than the lottery sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, unlike the original series, the challenge, of course, is not fatal, with players being eliminated. The new show premieres on Netflix November 22nd.
How cool is that?
That's really cool.
Would you guys do it? That's a big question.
I would definitely do that. I would it'd be even fun to host watch parties with something like that, because Squid Game was so popular when it came out. I mean, I felt like so many people across the country was on social media watching it, the world watching it together. So it'll do well.
There wasn't a season 2, was there?
Not yet, but there were rumors that there was supposed to be.
I loved it. I mean, it was got gory at times, but it was.
And that big doll lady.
I hate that thing.
Turns around.
You saw that? I don't know if I could do that first part.
I don't either. Or the one where they have to sketch out the shapes.
Perfectly.
Yeah, that was an interesting one too.
Nerve-wracking. All right, we'll be right back.
Sure, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. Dark delicious cookie meets an icy cold sensation. Okay. This right here is one room at WFMY News 2. And in this room, these people specifically, they have saved folks in our area $35,000 this year, not to mention a whole lot of frustration. This is a group of volunteers that takes calls and emails from folks who are having consumer issues. For example, I want you to see this right here. This is a garage. It gets wet every single time it rains because the builder poured the driveway incorrectly. Over here, this is the floor, a kitchen floor. These are the spots of where it got damaged when a delivery company brought in a fridge and then scraped the floor in the process. In both of these cases, the people had been calling and emailing the companies, but the companies either wouldn't respond or just wouldn't take responsibility. And then Call for Action got involved.
Our usual process is to ask them first to supply us with some documentation to substantiate their case. Bill of sale, a purchase order, a contract. If we don't get this paperwork, we really can't do much for them because it's just a he said, she said, or she said, she said, or he said, and that doesn't help anyone's case.
He said, she said, she said, she said, he said all the things.
Very good.
Right?
Very good. Nice.
That's how it always works.
It's like a rap.
Down.
I know. Well,
like
I
a
think
wrap.
though that people sometimes they email and they call and they're like, well, can't you do something? And we're like, we can, but where's your evidence?
The evidence.
Where is your
Yeah.
documentation? Where is your paperwork? We do need that to solve an issue.
I had a friend call me about buying a car from a small used car lot. 3 hours later, she took it, the car breaks down, like right after she bought it. And I called Kevin Kennedy and he's like, documentation. If it was as is,
It doesn't-
it's
yep.
as is.
Do you think people are just kind of so on edge, so ready to call that, thinking about documents or evidence just kind of goes over their head?
I think that all of us, whenever we do anything in our homes,
Yeah.
we hire someone to do something, we buy something, whatever, we're just thinking it's going to work out. Or if I need it, I'm sure they'll tell me this. Or, I'm sure I'll be able to do that. But you have to be able to prove what is happening, right?
That's why paperwork is so important, right?
That's why paperwork is so important. The key to evidence is you have to have some sort of proof of what you're saying. It could be pictures or videos or your bills or a warranty. There are things that you probably already have, but you need to keep those things and have those things.
So is it, think about this, is this really, I know it's rude sounding, if you're talking to a man who's saying, I can do this work for you, right? And you video him,
You can video him, but here's what I'll tell you. Everything needs to be on paper. If you have anybody who says, I'm going to fix this for you, I need you to write it down. I need you to say what time it's supposed to be done, what date it's supposed to be done, what the money that you put out, all that other kind of stuff. Otherwise, it really is something that person just said.
And when you have the documents, keep it in a safe space.
Yes.
That's right. All right. So if you do have a consumer issue, friends, you can find the Call for Action complaint form. It is on our website. Just go to the 2 Wants to Know section. It's going to be right there for you. And do not forget that paperwork.
In today's Travel Tuesday, searching for ingredients to make cocktails and spirits is becoming more popular around the world. You can even do it in your own backyard. Wendy Gillette is in Scotland to see some professionals at work.
They're sharp enough.
James Donaldson and Kate Hannett spend many of their workdays foraging in the fields of Islay, a remote island in western Scotland. What they pick is dried and distilled with the island's spring water to help create the Botanist Gin, made by Brook Laddie Distillery on the island.
Everything that we're doing to get the best flavour and the best aromas.
The foragers pick 22 local botanicals across the island from March through October. They also use 9 berries, barks, peels, and seeds to make the gin.
The original recipe is unchanged to what we produce today, and it was really an effort to try and gather all the wild flavours of Islay into a glass.
Scottish resident Scott Jackson and a friend sat down for a gin and tonic at the distillery.
Picking up a few notes, citrusy, some licorice, some spearmint, a minty note in it. Very refreshing, lovely.
About 5,000 miles away in Paso Robles, California, the owner of Calwise Spirits Co., Aaron Berg, picks flowers and fruits to create his gins and cocktails.
When I smell something nice, that's the first sign that it's probably going to taste nice, and I figure out what it's going to be.
The area known as SlowCal is home to 36 companies using foraged ingredients in spirits or mixers, and bars like the Alchemist Garden also leading with locally sourced items. Niner Wine Estates even offers cocktail foraging classes, with advice like knowing the entire plant is edible, so don't be afraid to experiment.
There's nothing that has more of a reflection of the place that you are than the plants that are growing there at that moment in time.
Elevating the flavor of your favorite drink.
Well, there's also a distillery trail in California featuring more than a dozen businesses, most of which grew out of the winemaking process. So definitely you get your mixology mindset on as you're watching things like that. It reminds me of the show Drink Masters on Netflix. We were talking about that, where a group of contestants from I think around the U.S. who are professionals at mixing drinks and cocktails and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool show.
And the presentation is incredible.
Oh my gosh, it's
dry ice and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I feel like that's the most important part. Whether it's, you know, a mocktail or a cocktail, they have to look fun, right? Like I'll order something at a restaurant, as long as they look fun.
Because you always, everybody nowadays at least, you always take a picture of it. If it looks good, you got to take a picture of it.
I've ordered things because I saw someone else with it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And did it taste good?
Yeah.
I agree. All right, let's talk about a forecast with big changes coming up for us. Yeah, we're going to warm it up. That would be in the next few days. And as a matter of fact, I can't tell you the last time I thought about the Lexington Barbecue Festival with an 82-degree high temperature. We will take it. Yes, high pressure in control, good stuff. Was that Hunter over there? Oh, it was Julie. She was very excited about the 82 degrees. High pressure, of course, keeping things clear. It's going to be nice. Now, the high pressure moves on to the east. Winds around that high come in out of the south, and that's a warmer flow for us. So it kind of builds on itself over the next 2 or 3 days. We'll go from today low 70s, then mid 70s, then upper 70s, and yes, low 80s for your weekend. Ironically, things change just in time for trick-or-treating, which is perfect. Those costumes can get hot. 75 degrees for tomorrow, sunshine, partly cloudy, upper 70s Thursday, Friday, low 80s for your weekend, all sunshine. Monday and Tuesday, we'll keep a 20% chance in, but not a big one. 78 Monday, and for Halloween, a high of 67.
The defending national champions needed to replace a pair of starters from last year's squad. Reagan High School alum Macy Pate was part of this year's recruiting class to help fill that void. And Pate has just done that. Wake Forest has played in 4 tournaments this fall, taking the titles in 2 of them, with Pate playing a big part in both of the victories. She clinched the win at the recent Jackson-Stevens Cup.
Wake Forest was always my dream. I'd always loved everything to do with Wake. To be able to be from around the area and just stay close to home, it just means a lot. Wake is always ranked in the top 3, golf week rankings. So it built my confidence up that they were interested in me and recruited me.
She stepped right up and performed outstanding in her first event and every event since then. So it's been amazing to watch her compete at this level you know, being a national championship team. You'd think someone might be a little bit intimidated, a little bit nervous. She wasn't in at all. She came right in here and performed top level.
I definitely felt like I was going to come in and be a good player for Wake. I worked really hard over the summer, and I was playing some good golf over the summer, so I felt confident in that. But yeah, everything has just been a dream come true to be able to come and play well so far. I would love to get a win in before the end of the season. That would be really special, just to be able to win in my freshman year.
We here at Wake say there's no cap. So, and I actually think there's no cap for her. She, with her work ethic, with her athleticism, with her love of the game, for her commitment to each day getting 1% better, each day trying to figure out the pieces to the puzzle. I think she's going to be a fantastic golfer that we watch for many, 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 many years.
Hello, here I am. Here we're doing the news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hi, Brett. State leaders are doing it in unique ways. WFMY News 2's Giselle Thomas has to close.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Microphone check.
Test, 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 testing, 1, 2, 3. Test, 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 testing, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test.
Hi, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio.
It's time for my 2 cents, and today I'm kind of talking about traditions that get passed down, right? So my father went to Carolina, I went to Carolina. My third oldest son, because my twins went to college, did not go to UNC, but my third oldest is all about it, right? So Tyler, and he is 13. That was the same age that I went to my first big college football game. So this weekend, I took him. We went down there. I even stopped by my fraternity house. You'll see him there with me. That was the place where one time he said, "Dad, is that our fraternity?" And of course my heart melted. I said, "I hope so. One day it could be yours." So then we go in the stadium. He gets the whole thing, right? The intro, the team coming out, all the hype videos. He was so excited. Even before the game, the team marches down through the campus and kids get to kind of see them one-on-one. We got a little bit of that in the marching band. He got the full experience, but there were a couple of moments when I looked over at him sitting there. He didn't even know I was looking at him. And I just watched his face like light up looking around, you know, a 50,000 seat arena, all the hoopla around a Division I college football game. And it just made me smile because I remember how excited I was when I was 13 and did the same thing. So it's kind of a rite of passage, right, from my dad to me and now to Tyler. And I just smiled thinking, you know what, I know my dad is looking down right now at my little boy and living that same moment that I did. So when you get those moments, make sure you do it. You will never forget it, they will never forget it, and they'll probably pass it down to their kids. But that's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
A shocking crime in Winston-Salem. Police say a group of people broke into a 21-year-old woman's car outside her home, then shot her.
Bullets also hit her apartment where her